My name is David Millon, and I'm here at Washington and Lee University Law School in Virginia, where I've taught since 1986. When we think about the objectives of the third year, one thing that I think we need to emphasize, or I always want to emphasize, is that it's not primarily about teaching skills. That's a very common misperception of what we're doing here. What we're doing is teaching students law and how to think about law in a different way than it is taught in the first year. We're trying to get them to begin to learn law and think about law the way lawyers do rather than the way law students do. And in order to do that, you have to put them in practical settings, and in order to be able to do that, you have to equip them with some basic lawyering skills that they will not have acquired in the first 2 years. So in the fall immersion, the litigation one, and then in the spring immersion, the transactional one, I like to think we try to give them a little toolkit, skills toolkit, that will then make it possible for them to work effectively in the experiential courses that they're going to be doing the rest of the time. And in those courses, they're going to be learning about law. They're not going to be simply trying to polish their skills or anything like that. There are a couple of reasons why we think a different approach in the third year is really important. First of all, students are ready for it. They don't, the marginal benefit of a third year of the same thing they've been doing for the first year, I think, becomes pretty slight. And you see this in their eyes when they're just often kind of bored. To see third year students in traditional classes can be painful to watch. But more important than that, we think law school has to do a better job of preparing students to make the transition from being law students to being lawyers. And traditionally, very little was done in that regard. And under the traditional model, it was assumed that big law firms would take on that job. That doesn't happen anymore. Furthermore, a lot of students don't want to go to big law firms anyway. And so we want to help them start to make that transition. We don't have any illusion that they're going to be ready to, quote, hit the ground running when they leave here, but we think they'll have a head start.